Yay! Hi, Badass Boss Moms, and really it's Focused Families. I am so excited to bring you an inspirational entrepreneur. This is Elaine Cruse. Elaine, you want to say hi?
Hi, Shannon. So nice to finally meet you in person.
So Elaine and I have been collaborating and talking online, but getting to see each other in person is like straight joy. So I'm super excited she could be here today. And she is going to talk about something that I am just so excited she is bringing to our area. So in West Virginia, but anyone can come, where no matter where you are in the country. And so what I would love to do with her today is let her start how she starts any consultation she does with a new client. So would you mind kicking us off?
Yeah, so
Okay.
our audience and you and me can do it together.
Okay.
Just starting out with just our feet on the floor.
Okay.
I'm noticing how your feet feel on the floor, and you can keep your eyes open or close them, either way. And then just kind of noticing how your breath feels. And then being aware of what's going on in your body. See what you notice. And then when you're ready, come back to the group.
Okay, that was a nice little starter.
Yeah, so during my practice today, just now, I noticed I was breathing in a bit of a shallow way, and I noticed a little bit of pain in my hips.
Did you? Okay.
What did you notice?
I love that. You're bringing me back into my body. I noticed my heart pounding a little. Even though I do these a lot, I still get nervous and excited to be here. So I noticed my heart pounding, and I noticed kind of tingly all over. So I'm so excited to get started. So we have a few viewers out there. I just want to give a big shout out. Hello. Feel free to say hi. I'm trying to see if I'm able to see your comments, but I can definitely see that you're there. Oh yeah, I can see comments. So can somebody let us know you can hear us okay and you can see us okay? And I know that's it's always a moment behind. So
let us know what you noticed in your body.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Yes. Well, anyway, we're so excited. We're going to dive in. Elaine's going to talk some about who she is. Like, who am I sitting next to? Who is this person? And you guys feel free to comment while we're waiting. Oh, Sherilyn! Hi, Sherilyn. Thanks so much for being here. You're gonna like totally vibe with Elaine. Sherilyn's awesome. And so, hey, Sherilyn, would you mind sharing what you feel in your body? I feel like we should have music and like kind of do this thing right now. We'll pretend it's here and you guys you can't. Okay, we'll let her come up with that, and anyone else that wants to give us a shout out, we always love it, because the reason I have her on is because I think it's so important what you've learned and what you have to offer. And one section of my clientele is people that are passionate about finding solutions to root causes. And when you called me up, I was like, oh yes, this is exactly how we are. So let me hear a little bit about you. Who is Elaine Cruse?
I live in Huntington with my daughter and my husband and our 2 dogs. I'm a pharmacist. I've been a pharmacist since 2003. So what is that, 21 years now?
Yeah.
Hard to believe. Yeah. What else do you want to know? I love to swim.
You love to swim? Okay. Yeah. I love that. So, okay, we'll start with just that. A mother, she's right there with us, family, like so important, and that you have this career. So today we're going to talk about this 8-week resiliency program. And so before we jump into who is this for and then what is it, would you mind sharing a little bit about your story of how you took it from, hey, here I am a pharmacist. What was going on with you that you were like, wait, I want to be on the lookout for something else?
Sure. So it was probably right before the pandemic. I was really struggling with a lot of anxiety and depression, and had been referred to a mindfulness-based stress reduction program through the University of Wisconsin. And it transformed my life. Like, I can remember sitting in a difficult meeting one day and putting my feet on the floor and just knowing what my next actions needed to be. It made me so much more aware of the options out there for me. And I just became really passionate about sharing it. I shared it with my classes, and
so at the pharmacy
school, yeah, I implemented it into a whole semester course at one point. And after kind of thinking about what I needed to be doing next, I knew I needed to be doing this work. So I moved on and became part of a cohort in West Virginia that trained 22 of us to be mindfulness coaches.
Wow.
And we had a live portion in Ketamine Valley.
Okay.
And all got together, and I'm missing my circle of people there, but it was a great experience and helped us all a lot.
Can I get you to define mindfulness? And I say that because even as a physician, I was never taught, that was never an area of my focus. So there might be others like I was, and I had shared with you that I learned mindfulness going through my divorce. And it was also a game changer. I was like, wait, that was available to me? So would you mind sharing like your definition of someone who's been trained in it and is so passionate, been able to implement it at the pharmacy school at Marshall?
So mindfulness is just paying attention to the present moment without judgment.
Okay. For me, what tied it to me was picking one sense. Mm-hmm. Like literally, what am I seeing? Mm-hmm. Okay, move on to what am I feeling versus the present moment for me felt too overwhelming. So, but saying like literally, what are you smelling right now? Is that how you were brought into it, or were you brought into it just like nope, in totality, be in the moment? Or was it more sense-based?
Oh no, you want to make mindful moments throughout your whole day. Okay. You can do it every time you go through a door. I'm just gonna pay attention to what I'm feeling as I go through the door.
Oh, I love that, and I think we could do a whole thing on mindfulness. So that will definitely be out there. What I want to hear right now is, okay, so here you were before the pandemic, depressed, anxious, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. I think
that's true.
And I think most of us, if we really look at it, our societies are so busy, our families are so busy that's what a lot of us. And then we're sitting there going, what am I missing with my family? So you went through that. Then what?
So then, as I was deciding to move on and start to learn how to coach as a mindfulness coach myself. When we were at Ketamine Valley, I noticed that I was very triggered and I was really having a difficult time with the presentations. And it was hard. And I happened to sit down at breakfast with one of our facilitators who had come from Canada. And she had been part of facilitating a group that used ketamine several times throughout the group.
Okay.
And she was showing me the research and how beneficial it was. And I felt like, why not? There's no better time than the present for me to get enrolled in this program. So I went through that program in 2023.
Okay.
The beginning of 2023. And it changed my life.
Okay. So before we jump into that and then who this might be right for, a lot of people out there probably don't know what ketamine is. Like even when you and I connected, of course I had heard of it, but not much more than that. So would you mind sharing both from a pharmaceutical perspective, a question I've gotten asked, is it legal? So like everything from, is it legal, what is it, how is it normally used, and why is it used here?
Yes, ketamine is completely legal. It's used, the S enantiomer of it is used as a nasal spray called Spravato.
Okay. What's it used for?
It's used for treatment-resistant depression.
Okay.
That's what it's labeled for. But off-label uses of ketamine, it can be used. It's completely legal.
Okay, beautiful. So here you are at this mindfulness retreat, definitely doing better than you did, but still finding yourself very triggered, having these other emotions hard, as you said, really hard. And then you speak to somebody who sits down and says, wait a second, here's what we have going on in Canada. It's been very beneficial. What kind of benefits did they tend to see in clients doing the specific program that they had? Because it's not just about one medication, right? It's about a more inclusive. So what kind of benefits were they seeing?
So their program was specifically for healthcare providers that were experiencing burnout.
Okay.
They saw improvements in ratings of PTSD, depression.
Oh, really impressive. So here they are offering solely, because we definitely had a big burnout. It was always going on in healthcare, but COVID really shot up, and so they started offering did you say 12-week for them? Mm-hmm. Okay, so they were offering this 12-week program, and then you went through it, and would you mind sharing what you kind of noticed afterwards, what your results were?
So I just noticed that my anxiety was markedly reduced, particularly in groups of people. It was just a normal thing for me to always feel really anxious and kind of unable to contribute to a group. And after I came home, that was gone.
Wow. Like, first of all, as soon as you said your anxiety dropped, my shoulders dropped. I don't know if anybody else felt that. Because I think a lot of us walk around with our shoulders like this, feeling anxious, and then hearing you say that you're not participating in a group, like, I deeply believe that each of us have incredible talent and value. And when we can't show up because of that anxiety, what ideas are we missing?
Absolutely.
What collaborative conversations, because we are not going to solve these massive issues we're facing in the world without getting dirty, without having hard conversations, without looking at different ideas. So therefore, from your perspective, you show back up in life and you have would you call it a significant reduction in anxiety?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll still notice, like, before I go to a meeting or something, I'll be preparing to feel the anxiety, but when I get there, the anxiety's not there anymore. So I have to kind of remind myself, like, I don't feel afraid anymore. So
what about for this? So this is, I think, is this your first Facebook Live?
Yes, this would have terrified me 3 years ago. I don't know. Or actually, I might have been able to do it, but I probably would have dissociated and kind of left my body in order to do it. Because I used to do that a lot when I was teaching, I think. But
oh my God, I just felt that
not
so
to have
deeply.
To do that anymore.
I just felt that so deeply because before we came live, I was sharing with Elaine that in some of my most important relationships, I'll catch myself. And I didn't use the word dissociating, but we could use that similar term. And what I've learned that, again, it's been a huge part of my journey is that trauma, not in the sense of Sherilyn's given us I can relate. Yay, I love hearing other people. Thank you, Sherilyn.
Thank you.
Is that trauma not as in just a severe car wreck, but really anything. It's not what happened to us, but it's anything that made us feel unsafe or that we didn't belong. Literally, our brain wires to protect us, but ends up keeping us disconnected from the people we need the most. And so that is that dissociation. And so you're saying that before you would go and disassociate and maybe do this Facebook Live, but not be connecting in the way.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So let's dive into the meat of it, because what I just heard you say was you showed up, it massively reduced anxiety, and so here you are, you found mindfulness helped you immensely, so you went after that, and then you decided this program helped you so much. Did you try to find a place in West Virginia that could do it?
Absolutely, I did. Yeah, so I put a team together, and we're doing it. It starts the week of September 30th.
I love that. Okay, and I think the other huge piece is what you found. It's not just ketamine, just like everything. No. It's not a one fix. What Elaine found that I'm still wanting to understand better is that it's the 8-week program that you're offering is really about connection and using ketamine to help with that connection. So can you dive into that a little bit more?
Yes, I think the community is the medicine in a lot of ways. And while the ketamine can help us, it's the integration of the medication and what it teaches us that helps us. So there's a lot of group interaction that takes place. It's based on unconditional positive regard. So, and also being able to compassionately witness our group members without trying to help or fix them.
Oh my gosh, you've shared some of this with me, and I just shared her hashtag community is medicine. Oops, I messed up at the end there, but that statement, I think I grew up hearing community was almost bad. Keep yourself safe, protect yourself from other people. And what you shared with me was most of us go through life not feeling heard, not feeling seen. And that's what I've learned. That trauma piece is, I used to guess what I probably still do to an extent and try to get better. I guess what other people are thinking, guess what other people are feeling without really leaning in with curiosity and assuming I'm correct. And that makes people feel unseen, unheard, and that's something I'm continually working on hearing myself, then to be able to show up. And you're saying that here you are doing this program, community is medicine, that these people are bonding over this period, this experience, and the ketamine is being used to help maybe bring down the walls a little bit to even connect further, but you're not there to help each other. You're there to hear each other. Is that?
In my experience, the walls are torn down well before the first ketamine set.
Ooh, okay.
People are comfortable with each other and in doing this together. Yeah.
But why the ketamine then, if it's happening? Or do you offer something?
I mean, that's a good question, and we've got a group coming up as well without ketamine.
Ooh, okay.
I think the results with it will be transformative as well.
Okay, so in case you didn't hear that, she offers 2 programs. One without the ketamine that's just is compassionate listening, compassionate listening within a community that helps create more connection to yourself and others.
Right.
And then you offer one with ketamine too. So 2 separate offerings to help people reconnect.
Yes. Super important if you are going to have a psychedelic experience to be able to prepare for it, have your intentions, and to be able to integrate it afterwards. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is in a group. In a group where the container is held safely by somebody that knows how to do that.
Yeah. I know you already had some clients reach out to say, hey, how is the anonymity? How is and it sounds like, oh my, 100% within that group, like you called it a container. And then I know there's limited spots, and you're trying to make sure that group shows up the way it needs to. So what have been some of the concerns with some of the concerns people have in their life that want to join the program?
People with burnout, specifically healthcare professionals with burnout.
Okay.
People with childhood trauma.
Yeah. Which is most of us from my deep dive into trauma. It's just to what extent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
People with anxiety and depression.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a great offering, and to bring that to West Virginia. Do other places in the country have it? Do you know?
I mean, there are other places that have ketamine, but I'm not sure if there's another group that will have the compassionate witnessing and the tools that I was blessed enough to learn and bring back home.
So important. So I see entrepreneurs as 2 different types of entrepreneurs. People that are like, how do I make money? And then the second entrepreneur is, how do I solve this problem? How do I want to be this change in the world? And then how do I monetize it so I can keep sharing it with others? And that's obviously that's my passion. That's who I love working with, because these are things I didn't know as a physician. And I'm a huge believer in holistic health. Let's heal people, let's heal families, let's heal communities and society. And we're not going to do that by work smarter, not harder. It's how can I find tools that are going to help families today? And I love that you're offering. So let me ask you, where can people learn more? How can they reach you?
So we're going to post a link in the comments about how to sign up for a free consultation call with me. Been doing lots of those recently. I'm getting good at it.
Yay.
And let's see. They can also just come to Unearthing Your Greatness on Facebook. Okay,
so we'll put a link there too. And by the way, anybody out there, I see we got quite a few people watching. Feel free to ask questions, because I would have been like, wait, what is compassionate listening? Wait, we're in a group, I feel uncomfortable. Instead of, the whole point is we are all in this together and learning how to connect. I mean, this is totally foreign for me. 4 years ago, if you were like, hey, Shannon, you're going to be sitting down interviewing me about a business, I'd have been like, what are you talking about? So there is no other way to go but growth. We can either sit in the stuck or we can grow. And I found that for my family, sitting in the stuck's just not an option. I want answers. And for me, I also found that the better parents do, the better children do. Is that what you've seen with others?
Absolutely. That's how we heal our families.
Oh. Yeah. And that's why, even though this Badass Boss Moms is not just for women, it is truly for all of us that want to birth change. I do think in so many ways women are the head of the household that are directing it. That and some people will tell me, well, when he does it, and I'm like, we can sit around and wait all day long for somebody else to change, but ultimately you're only in control of you. So let's play a little devil's advocate. If somebody is sitting out there saying, well, I just want to do something that's one and done. I don't want to do 8 weeks, I just want to take one pill. What's your, that's not a thing.
I just don't think it works that way.
Yeah.
I think we have to show up and we have to put the work in.
Oh, but beautiful.
It's something that, for me, the group that I was in, it was weird for the first couple of weeks. It was weird, but the same process every week. You get used to it and you start to communicate that way. I still meet with my buddy from the program that I was in every week, and we still start every conversation, in my body I feel this, and it's just like, it's been such a support for me.
Yeah.
And for her.
I love that. And for anybody else that has never talked about in my body, I can tell you right now, I never did yoga until I turned 30. And when I started yoga, they said, hey, Shannon, get your shoulders down. And I was like, I don't know what you mean. Like, I couldn't even feel my shoulders. And I wouldn't have used the word dissociated. I just it really was numbing, but I couldn't have even told you that. And so when I numbed, what did I do? I dressed my little girl up like the perfect doll. And I'm not trying to put anybody down, but I definitely thought, if the pictures look perfect, so will her future. And it wasn't because I was a crappy person. It wasn't because I was evil. It's because that's what I had. And so there's no other way but to say, and this is something I'm very interested in. I've not done this. I've not tried this. But I'm absolutely 100% interested in trying this and continuing to learn more, and regardless, helping other people know this is an option, because we don't know. So is there anything else you'd like to share with these people that tune in to go, wait, should I hop on a consultation call with her? Should I learn more?
You should. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. I mean, you don't have anything to lose. And yeah, I will say, like, what's the cost of not doing it?
Yeah. Where will we, and I love thinking that way, like 30-minute call, right, ish, to hop on free consultation with you versus 2 years from now, 5 years from now. What does that look like in your life? Where's your anxiety? Where's your depression? Where's your overwhelm? Versus, selfishly, I want you to hear yourself more and you to hear yourself more, so you can keep adding value to the world and our community. And like, to me, because we're all in this together, the better you do, the better we all do. So, yay.
I love what you said about everybody needing to be at the table. I think that's so true.
Yeah. Absolutely. When we show up with our ideas and talk, but it's hard. Like, I sometimes have a hard time in this group bringing up tough things, tough conversations, and like the word psychedelics can scare me. And I think because I grew up in a time where
me too.
We now know that, like, there are great studies out there, like just an overwhelming amount showing the positivity of this. And in our societies right now, we're struggling so much, and we can either keep doing what we're doing, or we can demand that these options be out there, because ultimately we vote with our time and our money. And so when you show up and you're like, this is something I'm going to learn about with these 30 minutes, that's me voting for what I want in the world. So Elaine, thank you. You guys, thank you for tuning in. And if you guys have questions, I tagged Elaine, plus we're going to put her Facebook page, and plus we're going to put her link to her calendar to do a free consultation. Friend, just beautiful inside and out. I'm so grateful to get to connect with you. And thank you all. Check it out. 8-week program where the 2 offerings where you learn to compassionately listen. You will walk away with reduced anxiety, improved presence. And there's no better thing than being present in the moment when we have families, so that we can show up for ourselves and our community. So bye, y'all.
Bye.
Yay.